Welcome to the Deep Dive. If you want the shortcut to being the most well-informed person around, well, you're definitely in the right place. Today, we are diving deep into the weekend, those 2 days that seem to dominate so many of our conversations.
Oh, absolutely. It's like this universal currency, isn't it? But we're aiming to go beyond just had a good weekend.
Yeah.
Our mission here is really to pull out the key communication tools, how you invite people, how you say yes, how you say no politely, and also the sort of cultural rules like, how dining out works, tipping, that stuff. And maybe the bigger picture too, why the weekend actually matters so much now.
Okay, right. Let's get straight into it then. You mentioned a toolkit, and maybe the first tool is just timing.
Yeah.
Like when you have the conversation.
Yes, that's totally foundational. Get this wrong, and it's just confusing. So think about it. If it's Thursday or Friday, the whole conversation leans forward, it's predictive.
Right. People ask things like, what are you doing this weekend? Or maybe more casual, got any plans?
Exactly. They want to know your future itinerary.
But then, flash forward. It's Monday morning, you see someone.
And the whole thing flips, doesn't it? It's all about the past.
Yeah, you need to be ready for, how was your weekend? Or, did you have a good one?
It seems simple, but if you answer Monday's question with Friday's plans, well, it just doesn't work. The social ritual breaks down.
Okay, so that brings up the first hurdle, right? What if you don't really have plans? That awkward moment.
Everyone knows that feeling, someone asks, and the honest truth is, nothing much.
Which can sound a bit dull. Or even like, you should have plans.
Yeah, but you don't have to say just nothing. You can frame it positively, like not much, just relaxing. See? That sounds intentional.
That's good. Or what about turning it around?
Oh, definitely. That's a great tactic. Just say, I don't have any plans yet. How about you?
Yeah.
Honest. And it keeps the ball rolling. Puts it back on them.
I like that. And there was that nice idiom too.
Ah, yes. I'm planning to just take it easy this weekend.
Take it easy. It just sounds comfortable. Like you're choosing to chill out.
Exactly. It means relax, don't do much, and that's a perfectly fine, even desirable way to spend the weekend for a lot of people.
Okay, so that's handling the no plans scenario. But what if you do have plans? How do you talk about them naturally?
Well, this is interesting. The most common way native speakers talk about confirmed future plans isn't actually using a future tense like will.
Really? So what do you use?
It's the present continuous, just I am, plus the verb ending in ing.
So like, I am going to the movies, not I will go.
Precisely. Or I am meeting a friend for lunch. It sounds maybe a bit counterintuitive, but it signals that it's a fixed, confirmed plan. It's already in your diary, so to speak.
Right. Simple but effective. Okay, so we can answer the question, what about making the plans? Inviting someone?
Right. Invitations. Politeness is absolutely key here. You can't just assume someone's available.
So first step is checking.
Yeah, always check first. Are you free on Saturday evening? Something like that. Only after they say yes should you drop the actual activity.
Okay, so once you know they're free, you could say, do you want to see a movie on Friday night?
Yep, that's direct and clear. Or maybe a bit softer. Would you like to grab dinner with me this weekend?
And accepting is easy. Sounds great. I'd love to.
Easy peasy. The tricky part is often saying no politely.
Ah, the polite decline. Why not just no thanks? Too blunt.
Sometimes, yeah. Especially in English-speaking cultures, being too direct when refusing can sound a bit harsh, almost like you don't value the offer or the person. So the advice is usually to soften it. Give a brief, simple reason.
Okay, so something like, oh, that sounds really fun, but I'm afraid I can't.
Exactly. And then maybe add, I already have other plans. You appreciate the invite, express regret, give a simple out, no need for a long story.
Right. Protects the relationship, protects your time. Makes sense.
Okay, so we've got the basic language down. Now, what about the actual stuff people do, the activities? We sort of see two main styles, don't we?
Yeah, the sources talked about the active weekend versus the relaxing weekend.
Right, the active go-getter style. This is all about being out and about doing things.
Like going for a long hike, maybe a bike ride. Yeah. Or team sports, soccer, softball, that kind of thing.
Exactly, things you can almost, measure. There's often a sense of accomplishment.
Like I climbed that hill, or we won the game.
Precisely. It's good for physical health, obviously, but also that mental boost of having achieved something tangible outside of work.
Okay, then the other side is the relaxing recharger weekend.
This is about, recharging your batteries. Quieter stuff.
Like reading a book. There was that phrase, curl up.
Ah, yeah, curl up with a book. It gives you that instant image, doesn't it? Cozy, comfortable, maybe on the sofa with a blanket. Very relaxed.
Or catching up on TV shows, binge watching.
Oh, definitely. Watching loads of episodes, maybe a whole season, all in one go. Very common relaxing activity now. Or maybe creative hobbies, painting, playing music.
But weekends aren't always fun and games, are they? There's the productive side. Chores.
Ugh, yes. Chores. Those necessary little jobs you put off all week.
So you might say something like, I need to catch up on some housework this weekend.
Exactly. Catch up on. That phrase is key.
Explain that again. Catch up on.
It just means doing something you didn't have time for earlier. Like you fell behind on laundry during the week, so you catch up on it Saturday morning. Or grocery shopping, cleaning, maybe mowing the lawn if you have one, getting things done so you feel ready for the week.
Right, clearing the decks. Okay, let's shift to social rituals. Going to the movies seems like a classic weekend plan.
Totally. And if you're making plans with friends, you probably need to talk about genres first, right? To agree on what to see.
Yeah, like comedy, action, drama, maybe horror if you're brave.
Or animated romantic comedies. Knowing those terms helps you decide faster.
And then the practical stuff. The place is the movie theater or cinema. You need to check the show times.
And definitely for popular movies, buy tickets in advance online. You don't want it to be sold out.
Oh, that's the worst feeling, getting there and finding out it's sold out.
Exactly. Buy ahead to avoid disappointment.
But there's one essential part of the movie ritual.
Ah, yes. The concession stand.
You almost have to get popcorn, right? And maybe a giant soda.
It feels like part of the experience, doesn't it? That smell of popcorn in the lobby. It just sets the mood.
Okay, movie's over, credits roll. Now comes the important part. Talking about it.
Right. The debrief usually starts with, so what did you think?
And if you liked it, it's easy. You talk about the story, the actors, maybe say you were on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, indicates excitement. Or praise the characters, say they were believable.
But what if you didn't like it? Especially if your friend chose it. That's delicate.
Very. You definitely don't want to just say that was awful. You need that soft language again.
So what's the magic phrase?
The perfect idiom here is, it wasn't really my cup of tea.
Not my cup of tea.
That's brilliant.
Oh.
It just means not something I personally enjoy without actually criticizing the movie itself. Very polite.
Exactly. Totally inoffensive. And then maybe you give it a quick rating, like maybe a 6 out of 10 for me or 2 stars. Okay, that makes sense. Similar kind of social rules apply to dining out, right?
Definitely. First off, for popular restaurants, especially Friday or Saturday night, make a reservation.
Book a table ahead of time. Got it.
And when you get the menu, listen out for the specials. Those are dishes not on the regular menu, often really good.
Right. And the menu usually has appetizers, main courses, sometimes called entrees and desserts.
Pretty standard structure. Then comes paying the bill. If you're in a group, it's super common to split the bill.
Just ask the server, can we split this?
Yep. They can usually divide it evenly or by what each person ordered. Easy.
Okay, now the big one, tipping. This varies a lot globally, but in the U.S., for instance.
Crucial point. In a sit-down restaurant in the U.S., tipping is essentially not optional. It's expected. It's part of how the servers are paid.
Right. So what's the standard amount?
You're looking at leaving between 15% and 20% of the total bill before tax. More if the service was amazing.
And less than 15% sends a pretty strong message.
Yeah, it signals you were unhappy with the service. It's a really ingrained cultural norm you need to be aware of.
Okay, we've covered a lot of the how-tos. Let's zoom out a bit. Why is the weekend such a big deal anyway? This links to work-life balance, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The whole idea of a 5-day work week and a 2-day weekend, historically, that was a fight won by labor movements. It was designed specifically to give people a break, to prevent exhaustion. It's society's way of trying to structure in that work-life balance.
And work-life balance is just balancing time for your job with time for everything else. Family, friends, hobbies, just life.
Pretty much. And without that balance, we risk, well, burnout.
Burnout. That sounds serious.
It is. It's not just being tired. It's like total exhaustion, physical, emotional, mental. It really hits your health and your ability to function at work and outside it. So taking that weekend break isn't lazy. It's actually an investment in your long-term well-being and productivity. A proper rest helps you perform better.
But the modern world throws a wrench in the works, right? Technology.
Oh, big time. Smartphones, work email. They've completely blurred the lines, as the sources say. Work can follow you home, into your pocket, onto your sofa.
Yeah, it's hard to switch off when your office is basically always with you.
That's the real threat now. The weekend structure is still there, Saturday and Sunday, but mentally disconnecting, That's harder than ever. So many people check work emails over the weekend.
So protecting your weekend isn't automatic anymore. It takes actual effort, conscious effort.
Exactly. You have to actively set boundaries, create rules for yourself.
Like what kind of rules?
Well, maybe a simple one is a no-work email rule from Friday night to Monday morning, or designating specific tech-free times during the weekend.
A digital detox, almost.
Sort of, yeah. It's about deliberately making space so your brain isn't constantly in work mode. It lets you focus on other parts of who you are.
Ah, that's interesting. The weekend lets you be, not just your job title.
Precisely. You stop being just the accountant or the manager, and you become the guitarist, the parent, the friend, the person who likes relaxing. It nurtures your whole identity.
And that wider identity makes life richer, prevents that stress.
That's the idea. It builds resilience and makes you a more well-rounded person.
Wow, okay. So this deep dive really covered a lot, from tiny phrases to big ideas about modern life. Let's quickly recap the main skills you've hopefully picked up.
Sure. First, just navigating that basic weekend chat, knowing whether to talk about plans, Friday, or reflections, Monday, getting that timing right.
Right. Second, having the words for activities, knowing movie genres, using phrases like catch up on chores, or saying you'll take it easy.
Third, actually making plans. Using the right tense, I am doing, inviting politely, and knowing how to decline gracefully without causing offense.
And fourth, those crucial cultural bits, like remembering to tip properly when you eat out, and using soft language, not my cup of tea, when you need to give a slightly negative opinion.
Yeah, ultimately, the weekend is this amazing structure we have. It's designed downtime, a chance to step back from work and focus on things we do just because we want to, because they enrich us.
Well, yeah.
You've got the tools now to talk about it, plan it, protect it. So maybe the real final thought is, what part of your non-work identity are you going to consciously make time for this weekend? Welcome back to the deep dive. You know, we've talked about the weekend essentials before, but today we're not really focusing on chores or just kicking back on the sofa.
Right.
We're moving into what you might call the advanced game plan for weekends.
Okay.
Thinking about those more involved trips, complex social things, and honestly, the etiquette that can make or break a plan.
Yeah, the stuff that needs a bit more thought.
Yeah.
Our foundation's solid, so now we're building on it.
Exactly.
We're diving into, let's say, a deeper analysis, looking at the language we use for escapes, for getaways, and also the sort of, mastery needed for hosting things like a big BBQ.
And crucially, the personality types behind it all.
Absolutely. Dissecting those underlying differences, how people approach rest and freedom. It shapes everything.
So this isn't just learning new words, it's about the strategy behind them.
Precisely.
We're kind of unpacking the philosophy spontaneous weekends versus everything scheduled out.
And hopefully giving you those aha moments about why certain phrases, certain ways of planning are just essential.
Okay, so where do we start? The big escape.
Let's start there. Getting out of the everyday routine.
That moment, Friday afternoon hits. Everyone starts dreaming about a getaway.
A getaway. Yeah, it's that short trip, maybe just the weekend, and it's fundamentally designed for one reason.
Which is?
To get a psychological break, basically. What we call a change of scenery.
Ah, right, a change of scenery. That phrase is key, isn't it? Because it's not just about the place.
Exactly. It's the goal.
It's the feeling, the experience of being somewhere totally different. Like, if you live in the city, maybe it's heading to the quiet countryside or the beach.
Yeah, or vice versa. It's about hitting reset mentally.
Okay, so you pick a place, then comes accommodation. This choice seems pretty important too.
It immediately sets the tone. You've got
Yeah.
your standard hotel, offers convenience, maybe anonymity.
Sure.
But lots of people going for that real escape feeling might choose a B&B.
Okay, so a B&B. What's the strategic difference there? Why pick that over hotel? It's not just about the free breakfast. Right?
Well, the breakfast is nice, but no, the key difference is intimacy versus anonymity.
Intimacy.
Yeah. B&B, bed and breakfast, it's usually smaller, cozier. Often it's literally run out of someone's large house.
Oh, okay.
So the whole experience feels more personal, maybe more charming. Choosing a B&B signals you want connection, maybe some local insight. You're avoiding that sterile, same everywhere chain feeling.
That makes a lot of sense. It's not just a bed, it's the whole atmosphere you're buying into.
Exactly.
So accommodations sorted. Then we hit that big question. How much planning? Some people dive straight into making a detailed itinerary.
And that word itinerary, yeah, that's kind of a dividing line, isn't it, between weekend personalities?
How so?
Well, an itinerary is that schedule, sometimes minute by minute, lists all the activities, sites, meals.
Very organized.
Super organized. It guarantees efficiency. You'll see everything you wanted to see, maximize your time.
But is maximizing time the same as maximizing relaxation? That feels like a key tension.
It really is. Think about that mountain getaway example we discussed.
Yeah.
Let's say we book that cozy B&B you mentioned.
Okay.
We could plan out Saturday completely. That's the itinerary day, specific hike, dinner reservation locked in.
Right. Structure for Saturday.
But maybe Sunday. We leave it open. We consciously decide, let's just see. Find lunch somewhere nice before driving back.
A hybrid approach.
Exactly. That blend of structure and freedom is often the sweet spot, I think. You've hit the main things, but you still have room to breathe, to relax.
Guarantees the highlights, but allows for some spontaneity. And speaking of planning, whether you're scheduling every second or just winging it, there's one practical tip that always applies for a short trip, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. Non-negotiable. Pack light.
Always pack light. Why is that so crucial for just a weekend?
Because if the trip's only 2 or 3 days, you absolutely only need the essentials. If you're dragging a massive suitcase, you're either packing for way too long or maybe carrying too much mental baggage into the weekend.
Good point.
But seriously, the act of packing light, it forces you into that mindset of a short, manageable break.
Yeah.
It reinforces the feeling of escape, of lightness.
Interesting psychological trick. The light bag matches the light commitment.
Precisely. It sets the tone.
Okay, let's switch gears. We've talked about escaping away. What about inviting people in?
The social gathering.
Right. The second big area of advanced weekend strategy, mastering the big social event. And for summer, nothing quite says gathering like the barbecue, the BBQ.
BBQ, yeah. It's funny, it's both the food and the event itself.
True.
Casual outdoors usually involves the host cooking outside. We know the equipment, that's the grill.
We know the grill.
But the real insight, the operational magic that lets these big relaxed parties happen without, bankrupting the host or exhausting them.
Okay, what's the secret?
It's the potluck.
The potluck. Okay, this is where the social strategy gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Define it, but then let's talk about the potential awkwardness.
Right. So a potluck is basically a gathering where every guest brings a dish to share with everyone else.
A dish to share. Okay.
It's cooperative. The host usually takes on the main thing, maybe the expensive part or the most work, like grilling the meat. And the guests fill in all the gaps. Salads, desserts, drinks, whatever.
Okay, but I have to ask, for someone not used to this, doesn't that feel a bit, impolite? Like, come to my party, but bring your own food.
That's the absolute crucial point. It feels counterintuitive, doesn't it?
It really does.
But in this specific cultural context, the potluck is actually the height of social grace.
Ow!
Because it acknowledges the event is a communal effort. Asking guests to bring something is like a strategic defense against the host getting totally overwhelmed.
Okay.
If one person had to provide absolutely everything for, say, 50 people, well, those parties would be incredibly stressful and probably wouldn't happen very often.
I see. So the collaboration actually enables the relaxed, frequent vibe. It spreads the load.
Exactly. Which is why the single most important, most polite question a guest can ask is,
what can I bring?
Absolutely. Asking that shows you get it. You understand the cooperative deal here.
And the host then directs traffic, basically.
Pretty much. They might say, oh, I've got the burger sorted. Could you maybe bring a side dish?
A side dish. Okay, so that's anything that goes alongside the main course, right? Like potato salad, corn on the cob, a green salad, that sort of thing.
Exactly. The stuff that rounds out the meal. Or they might ask for dessert. Or maybe some drinks.
Got it.
And this whole system, this collaboration, is why these events often feel so relaxed. Everyone's chipped in, the host isn't run ragged, they can actually mingle and enjoy themselves.
Which brings us nicely to the underlying philosophies driving all this planning, or lack of planning.
Yes. This tension between, say, a rigid itinerary for a trip and a relaxed potluck BBQ, it points to the heart of the matter.
The two big approaches to weekends.
The two core philosophies. We've got the planners versus the spontaneous folks.
Okay, let's break down the planners first.
Planners are all about efficiency. They're the ones making reservations months ahead, buying tickets way in advance.
Sticking to that detailed itinerary we talked about.
Rigorously. Their main goal is security, really. The certainty that they'll achieve everything they plan to do. No surprises.
Security is high, sure. But the trade-off is flexibility, isn't it? Planners can sometimes struggle with the opposite force.
Which is spontaneity.
Define spontaneity for us in this context.
Spontaneity is just that quality of acting on a sudden impulse, a desire, without a pre-existing plan.
It's acting on impulse.
Yeah. And this quality is what drives the second personality type. For them, freedom is the ultimate priority.
And they have their own language, their own idioms for this approach.
They definitely do. The first key phrase you'll hear is go with the flow.
Go with the flow. What does that mean practically?
It means being relaxed, accepting situations as they unfold, rather than trying to force everything to fit your plan.
Okay.
So, if the weather turns bad or, a museum is unexpectedly closed, the planner might freak out a bit.
Right.
Spontaneous person.
Yeah.
They just shrug and say, okay, let's go with the flow and find something else to do. They adapt.
Adapting easily. Okay. And the second idiom, you said it was more action-oriented.
Yeah. Play it by ear.
Play it by ear.
This means deciding what to do as you go along, based on how things are in the moment. Like waking up Saturday morning, seeing it sunny, and suddenly deciding, hey, let's drive to the beach, even though maybe you'd vaguely plan to do chores.
Deciding on the fly.
Exactly. No fixed plan, just reacting to the situation or your mood.
The appeal is obvious. Unexpected adventures, probably great stories, and maybe maximum relaxation because there's no pressure of a schedule.
Definitely less pressure.
Yeah.
But we do need to acknowledge the flip side.
The downside of pure spontaneity.
Yeah. You might miss out on things that need booking way in advance. You might not get around to necessary tasks. Or you might even waste time just trying to decide what to do next, because nothing was planned.
Right. You risk having fun, but maybe not accomplishing much in a practical sense.
It's a trade-off, maximizing fun memories versus maximizing efficiency.
So the real insight here isn't about choosing one side or the other, is it?
No, I don't think so. It's usually about finding a balance.
Like the getaway example again.
Exactly. Yeah. Plan the big things, the anchors, book the B&B. Maybe plan that one main hike.
But leave the rest open.
Leave the rest open to go with the flow. Or play it by ear. That way you get structure and freedom.
And, importantly, you have the language to talk about your preference with whoever you're spending the weekend with. You can negotiate that balance.
That's key. Managing expectations.
Okay, this has been a really deep dive into weekend strategy, way beyond just basic plans.
Definitely moved into more advanced territory.
So, to help everyone consolidate, let's quickly recap the key strategic vocabulary we covered. Your advanced toolkit, if you will.
Good idea. Let's list them out.
Okay, first, for planning that escape, the overall goal is achieving a change of scenery.
Your accommodation choice might be that intimate B&B.
The detailed plan, if you make one, is the itinerary.
And the essential packing advice, pack light.
Got it. Next up, mastering the social side, especially the BBQ. The system that makes it work is the potluck.
Your contribution might be called a side dish.
And the absolutely crucial, polite question to ask is,
what can I bring? Shows you're playing the game right.
Perfect. And finally, the philosophy words that describe your approach. Acting without a plan is spontaneity.
Being adaptable to changing situations is to go with the flow.
And deciding things as you go along is to play it by ear.
That whole set of terms really equips you for almost any weekend planning or social situation.
It does. But before we wrap up, this whole discussion about balancing efficiency, like an itinerary, with freedom, like spontaneity, it makes you think, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, it raises a bigger question, maybe something for you, the listener, to consider.
Okay.
We put so much effort into finding this balance on our weekends, but what about our work lives?
Interesting angle.
How much of your daily work life is driven by that super rigid, efficient itinerary mindset?
Most of it. For many people.
And could applying just a little bit of that go with the flow or play it by ear thinking to even one small part of your professional week, could that actually unlock something?
Like a new opportunity, maybe. Or just relieve some pressure that the constant planning creates.
Exactly. Could a bit less rigidity actually lead to unexpected benefits at work, just like it does on the weekend?
That's a fascinating thought to mull over as you head back into the weekly routine.
Definitely something to think about. Use this language, use these strategies, and confidently talk about not just what you're doing this weekend, but why you're doing it that way.
Choose your own adventure.
Well said. Until next time on The Deep Dive.
Welcome to The Deep Dive. We're here to process the source material you send over and really pull out the strategic insights into complex topics.
That's the plan.
And today, our mission is looking into what you call the cultural and emotional landscape of our time off.
Yeah.
We want to move past just, rest and fun.
Right, into the strategy of the weekend itself.
How we actually manage it.
Exactly, because the sources, they really show the weekend isn't just a break. It's a limited resource.
Yeah.
And we manage it with, honestly, high ambition sometimes, but also high anxiety. There are specific techniques people use.
So we're looking beyond just enjoying yourself, more into how people handle specific situations, the feelings involved.
The emotional calculus, exactly. How we deal with special time off scenarios.
Okay, so we've got 3 main areas mapped out from the sources. First, that feeling of luxury when you get extra time.
The long weekend effect.
Then the more constructive side, personal projects. Using time strategically.
Connective weekends, yeah.
And finally managing that end of weekend feeling, the anxiety.
The dread, and how people fight it.
Strategy and psychology. Okay, let's dive in. Where better to start than everyone's favorite surprise? That gift of a long weekend.
The 3-day weekend, or a long weekend, yeah. It happens when a public holiday, sometimes called national holiday, falls on a Friday or a Monday.
Simple enough definition.
Right, but what's really interesting in the sources isn't the what, it's the feeling. The immediate psychological shift it creates.
I saw that pop up again and again.
Yeah.
The difference between, say, 48 hours and 72 hours. It feels much bigger than just one extra day. Why is that?
Well, think about the standard 2-day weekend. It often forces a trade-off, doesn't it?
Yeah, you have chores, errands,
Yeah.
life admin.
Exactly. One day usually gets eaten up by that necessary stuff. Then if you use the second day for maybe seeing friends or just properly relaxing.
You feel rushed, like you didn't quite get enough off time.
Precisely. You're kind of scrambling for relaxation. But that extra day, it changes the whole equation. It creates what one source called an ocean of time. I like that phrase.
An ocean of time. Yeah, that captures it.
That third day is like a buffer. Suddenly you can have one day for the chores, maybe one day for social stuff or an activity, and still have a whole guilt-free day purely for deep relaxation, to really recharge.
The pressure just lifts.
Completely. And the sources show how this new freedom allows for bigger plans too.
Right, people aren't just thinking about a local day trip, they're planning longer getaways.
Yeah, they feel okay traveling a bit further because they know they're not immediately turning around to drive back tired on Sunday night.
Makes sense.
And this idea of extra time, it leads beyond just luck with holidays. It brings in strategic thinking, specifically the concept of tacking on.
Okay, tack on. What does that mean exactly?
It means adding something extra. So you have that Monday public holiday already. You might decide to tack on a personal vacation day on the Tuesday.
Okay. Using your annual leave smartly to build on the free day.
That's the sophisticated play, yeah. You leverage the existing holiday to create an extended weekend. 4 days, maybe even 5.
Smart, maximizing that limited time off.
And the sources suggest this really pays off. It gives you a much bigger return in terms of actual rest, less stress, proper cognitive recovery even.
So it's not just about resting, it's engineering significant time away, maximizing the mental health benefit.
That's the goal. You're making an investment.
So the core idea here is the psychological breathing room from that extra day, whether it's a gift from the calendar or you strategically tack on a day yourself.
That's the key takeaway. 3-day weekends change how we plan. They allow for deeper rest, and they can be strategically extended for even bigger impact.
Okay, so strategy 1 is getting more time for rest. Strategy 2 seems to be about using the time you do have for focused effort. Let's shift gears.
From rest to active construction.
Exactly, because for some people, a great weekend isn't just about recovering. It's about creating something tangible. Let's get into the weekend project, not just chores, but a bigger task.
Yeah, moving beyond just, cleaning the house or mowing the lawn. The big category here is DIY, do it yourself.
Right.
That urge to build something, fix something, modify something yourself without calling in a professional. Painting a room, building shelves, maybe some gardening work.
And the sources talk about people who are good at this, calling them handy.
That's the term, yeah. They have the practical skills.
And it seems like they're not looking for the easy way out. They actually want to tackle a project. They enjoy the challenge.
And this is where it gets really interesting psychologically. If we just think it's about saving money, we miss the deeper driver.
Which is?
The huge sense of accomplishment it provides. Think about it. So much modern work is on screens, dealing with data, abstract goals.
Right, you don't always have something physical to show for your work week.
Exactly. So the weekend project fills that gap.
Yeah.
That freshly painted wall, the shelf you built, it's instant physical proof you achieved something. You can point and say, I did that.
It's like an antidote to the abstract nature of office work. Tangible results.
It's psychological relief. Finishing something real, something measurable. And the sources make a distinction, too, between necessary DIY and something else.
Passion projects.
Yes, passion projects. These are things done purely for the love of it.
Not because the fence is falling down.
Right. Not for home improvement or saving money, but for self-expression or mastering a skill, writing a chapter of that novel, maybe restoring an old bike, working on some code just for fun.
The reward is the process itself, or the personal satisfaction.
Exactly. Utility isn't the main point.
But hang on, doesn't trying to do a perfect paint job or finish a really big project just add more stress? Isn't that a paradox if the weekend's for relaxing?
That's a fair question, and the sources touch on it. The difference seems to be about control.
Oh.
Work stress often comes from outside pressures, deadlines, bosses, office politics. With a DIY or passion project, you are generally in charge. You set the pace, you define good enough, you manage the budget.
You're the client, essentially.
Pretty much. And the focused labor itself, the concentration, can actually be quite meditative, as long as you're okay with things not being absolutely perfect, maybe.
Right, embracing the process. So these productive weekenders choose purposeful effort over just passive recovery because they're seeking that specific sense of accomplishment.
That seems to be it. So when they get asked on Monday, how was your weekend? They can say, great, I tackled that bookshelf project, not just, relaxed. It's about identity, too. Worker versus creator.
Okay, let's recap that section then. Weekend projects. Significant tasks, often DIY, done by people we call handy. They deliberately tackle a project to get that powerful sense of accomplishment, a tangible win.
Which brings us, well, almost inevitably to Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, when the project tools get put away or the relaxing has to end, and Monday starts to cast a shadow.
The reality of the week ahead asserts itself.
Time to talk about the emotional side of things, the Sunday scaries, that feeling of, dread or anxiety. That's surprisingly common.
It really is. It's this anticipatory anxiety. The work week isn't actually here yet, but the idea of it is already looming.
Looming.
Yeah.
Like a big, dark shape on the horizon.
That's a good way to put it. Threatening, almost. The sources say the scaries often kick in around maybe 4 p.m. on Sunday, because that unprepared Monday morning is starting to form in your mind.
And it's important, isn't it, to separate this from a case of the Mondays?
Oh, definitely. A case of the Mondays is that tired, sluggish feeling you have on Monday morning itself. The scaries are different. They're the anticipation of the stress, the worry about losing control, felt the day before.
It's powerful enough that people have actually developed strategies against it.
Yes, a proactive countermeasure. The Sunday reset.
Okay, the Sunday reset. That sounds much more proactive than just, feeling anxious on the sofa. What does it involve? What are the components?
Well, it's basically a set of rituals, structured things people do on Sunday evening to prep for the week ahead. The aim is to reduce stress and start Monday on a positive note.
And a key part is getting your affairs in order.
That's the practical core, yes. Organizing the loose ends, handling responsibilities before they become Monday morning emergencies, tying things up.
Can you give some examples? What does that look like practically?
Oh, very practical things like meal prep, making lunches for the next few days.
Saves time in the morning rush.
Exactly. Laying out clothes for Monday, maybe Tuesday, spending just 20 minutes looking at the calendar for the week. And, this seems crucial, making a very simple to-do list for Monday morning.
Just the first few things.
Yeah, maybe the top 3 tasks. It stops that feeling of paralysis when you first sit down at your desk. You've already decided where to start. You're taking back control.
So by doing that organizing up front, you're smoothing out that bumpy transition from weekend to work week, making sure the week doesn't just happen to you.
You start on the front foot. And the reset isn't just about tasks. There's always a strong self-care element too, designed to help you wind down.
Wind down, shifting from being busy to actually relaxing.
Yes. Moving from activity to calm. This could be taking a bath, reading a physical book, something not on a screen, or, very commonly mentioned, setting a strict digital cutoff time.
Turning off work email, Slack, all that stuff.
Absolutely. Putting the work-related screens away well before bedtime.
And the final piece, the sources mention setting your intentions. What's that about?
It's the mental shift, really. Taking a moment to consciously decide, what attitude do I want to bring this week? What's my main focus? What energy do I want to project?
A kind of mindful preparation.
Exactly. It's a moment of reflection, purposefully adjusting your mindset. If you've managed to get your affairs in order and started to wind down, Setting your intentions is like the final psychological step.
So it flips Sunday on its head. Instead of a day of dread where Monday is looming, it becomes a day of preparation, control, and self-care. The antidote to the scaries.
That's the idea. It completes that cycle of, sophisticated weekend management we've been tracing.
Okay, so what does this all mean for you, our listener? We've journeyed through the weekend as this complex zone for, well, strategic time management, sometimes constructive effort, and definitely emotional prep.
From maximizing the gift of a 3-day weekend
To the satisfaction of a weekend project.
and tackling the Sunday scaries with a Sunday reset.
You've got the concepts now tacking on, being handy, that sense of accomplishment, getting your affairs in order, winding down, setting intentions. Hopefully this gives you some tools or ideas for your own precious time off.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. We talked about the huge emotional impact of gaining just one extra day off and the anxiety tied to the work week looming ahead. We saw how tangible results from a weekend project can fight feelings of abstraction. So consider this. If a single day can change the psychology so much, and if we need these resets and projects, what does that suggest about the structure of the standard work week itself? Are we constantly performing this complex time engineering just to cope?
Is the pressure demanding these sophisticated coping mechanisms? Something to mull over.
Definitely something to think about.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. So we've spent some time really getting into the weeds of the weekend, haven't we? Planning, logistics, battling the Sunday scaries.
We definitely have all the practical stuff.
But today, we want to zoom out, like really zoom out. This is sort of the grand finale of our chat about personal time.
Right. It's time to shift gears, I think, from the how to the why, move past just, managing the hours and ask, what's this time really for?
Exactly. What does it mean for, well, a fulfilling life? So our mission today for you listening is basically this: thinking about the weekend not just as time off, but as time you invest.
An investment in building a life, yeah. Making memories, not just downtime.
Precisely. We need to explore that ultimate purpose, how it connects back to work, and also, frankly, acknowledge that the old Friday to Sunday model, it's changing.
That's a really good frame. Because, the break might start Friday afternoon, but the whole cycle doesn't really wrap up until you're back in the swing of things.
Which usually means Monday morning.
Monday morning, that re-entry point.
Okay, so let's unpack that. That first social ritual of the week, the Monday morning debrief.
Ah, yes, the coffee machine conversation.
Or the first few minutes of the team meeting, right? It happens informally.
And that word debrief, it's actually quite revealing, isn't it?
How so?
Well, a debrief is usually asking someone about a completed mission. And the mission here, it was your weekend.
Huh. Okay. So your colleagues are asking for a mission report.
Subtly, yeah. A status update on how you spent your, let's say, social capital over the last couple of days.
And just saying, oh, it was good, that doesn't cut it, does it?
No, definitely not. It's insufficient. It gives nothing away.
Right. The expectation is you share something, a brief highlight maybe, something work appropriate, but, interesting.
Exactly. We tried that new Ethiopian place downtown, or I finally tackled the garden and accidentally pruned the neighbor's rose bush. Something with a bit of color.
Something with texture.
Okay.
But what's the function of that? Why do we do it?
Well, psychologically, it's fascinating. Your colleagues are kind of asking to live vicariously through your little story.
Okay, explain that more.
If you share something mildly exciting, a nice hike, finishing a small project, they get to share in that little bit of positive energy for a moment.
So it eases everyone back in, reestablishes the social connection.
I think so. It signals, okay, we're humans, we have lives outside of this, now let's get back to being a team.
But I wonder, is it always about connection? Or is it sometimes social performance?
Ah, interesting point.
Like, is there pressure to have a good story, something, Instagram worthy? If you just say, honestly, I stayed in and watched 6 seasons of that show, people sometimes
Get a bit awkward,
Yeah.
yeah. You risk kind of failing the debrief.
Right. And that can feel a bit isolating, maybe,
Yeah,
because you didn't provide the expected narrative.
that's absolutely a risk. But when it works well, it's this quick, efficient way to just reconnect on a human level before diving back into tasks. It's the last ritual before we start thinking about the next bit of time off.
Okay, but that whole model assumes the classic Friday to Monday weekend, which brings us to a huge point.
Right. That structure is just, well, it's obsolete for so many people now.
Nurses doing long shifts, anyone in hospitality, the gig economy, freelancers, their weekend might be Tuesday and Wednesday.
Absolutely. Millions of people. It means we have to change how we even talk about it.
We need new language.
Completely. You can't just ask, got plans for the weekend? It might be totally irrelevant to their schedule.
So what do we say?
We shift to neutral terms. Things like, got any days off coming up? Or, what are you up to on your off days?
Off days. That feels like the key term, yeah. It's neutral.
It's the universal language for that personal protected time whenever it happens to fall in the week.
We should be honest, though. There can be a downside to those non-traditional schedules, can't there?
Socially, you mean?
Yeah. If your days off are Tuesday, Wednesday, well, most of your friends or family might be working. It can be harder to sync up. There's a potential disconnect.
That's definitely the challenge, finding that shared time. But it also opens up something really valuable.
Which is?
The off-peak advantage.
Ah, okay. So enjoying the world when it's less crowded.
Exactly. Think about it. If your protected time is midweek, you get to go to the museum, hit the gym, even do the grocery shopping.
At 10 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Yes. And it's calm, it's quiet, no fighting the Saturday crowds. You get that proper weekend feeling just on a different day.
So it really reinforces that idea. The specific calendar days don't matter as much as the concept.
Precisely. The weekend is flexible. It's about having that protected time for yourself, period.
Okay, so that brings us right to the core, the big philosophical question we wanted to tackle. We've managed the time, done the Monday chat, but what's the ultimate purpose of this protected time?
Right. Is it really just about recharging so we can work harder on Monday? Because if that's it...
Then it's just another tool for productivity, isn't it? Serving the job.
Exactly. But the thinking we're exploring suggests something much deeper. The ultimate purpose is essentially to build a life.
Build a life. Okay, unpack that.
Your job is what you do. But this protected time, this is about who you are. It's where your identity really gets shaped and expressed, outside of the professional role.
And a huge part of that is making memories.
Right.
Right? That's how we build the substance of that life.
Absolutely. The hikes, the family dinners, the passion projects, the deep chats with friends, those are the things that create the texture and richness, the stories we tell ourselves about ourselves.
But here's where I think it gets tricky. If we frame it as building and making, like an investment, doesn't that bring its own pressure?
You mean the pressure to optimize the weekend, to have the perfect memory-making experience?
Yeah. Like we talked about with the debrief. Does the quest for the perfect shareable weekend just become another chore, another source of stress?
That is the absolute crux of the issue, the modern friction point. And the answer, I think, isn't about achieving some perfect outcome. It's about mastering a skill.
And that skill is?
Being present, truly present.
Okay. Actively disconnecting from the work brain, the planning brain, the optimizing brain.
And just being fully engaged in whatever you're doing right then. Right there.
That's the key ingredient. That turns time into actual memory, not just time passed.
I believe so. It's the difference between, say, being on that hike, but mentally composing emails.
We've all done that.
Versus putting the phone away, actually smelling the trees, hearing the birds, feeling the ground under your feet. When you're truly present, that pressure to make it count kind of dissolves. You're just in it.
And connected to that is the idea of cherishing the time.
Yes. Cherishing implies protecting something, caring for it lovingly.
And in our always-on world, that protected time feels fragile.
It really does. Notifications, emails, the subtle expectation to just check in. Technology is constantly trying to nibble away at the edges of our personal time.
So cherishing it means actively defending it, setting up walls.
Definitely. Building boundaries. You have to be the guardian of your own rest, your own personal life. It's not just about physical rest anymore.
It's about how you feel coming out of it.
Exactly. The goal isn't just to feel less tired on Monday. It's to finish Sunday feeling, well, richer in spirit.
Richer in spirit. I like that. That spiritual wealth comes from investing time in who you are, right? Hobbies, relationships, just being.
Precisely. And that's what lifts this whole discussion beyond simple time management.
Okay, this is really helpful. Let's try and synthesize this. For everyone listening, what are the key sort of high-value takeaways for navigating this whole modern idea of personal time?
All right, let's boil it down. Takeaway number 1, social ritual. Remember that Monday morning chat, the debrief. It's fundamentally about showing interest, building connection. It's not just data transfer. Getting that right helps ease everyone back in.
Got it. Connection, not just reporting. Takeaway 2.
Vocabulary. Expanding how you talk about your life, your hobbies, projects, interests, lets you share and understand experiences with more color and detail. It enriches the experience itself and how you connect with others about it.
Makes sense. Being able to articulate it makes it more real.
Oh,
Number 3.
communication. Planning personal time, whether it's a big trip or just coffee, is really an exercise in communication. Learning to politely accept, decline, suggest, collaborate. Those skills build stronger friendships. It's fundamental social glue.
Right. It's not just about logistics. It's about navigating relationships.
Okay, 4, personal balance. Super important. There's no single perfect way to spend your time off. You really have to listen to yourself. What do you actually need this time? Adventure, quiet, social connection, deep rest. Finding your balance is key to feeling genuinely fulfilled, not just ticking boxes.
Good reminder, it's personal. And the final one.
Takeaway number 5, protection. In this always-on culture, you absolutely have to be the active guardian of your own rest and personal life. Use the tools, boundaries, digital detoxes, the Sunday reset we talked about before, to consciously protect and cherish that time that is truly yours. It's an active defense.
You have to guard it because no one else will. That feels crucial.
It really is. Because ultimately, that protected time is where we invest in our own happiness. It's the bedrock of a healthy, balanced life.
Thank you. This has been a really, enriching deep dive into the philosophy behind it all.
My pleasure. It's important stuff to think about.
So as a final thought for you, the listener, building on everything we've discussed, if the real goal of your protected time is, as we said, to build a life, here's something to mull over this week. What is one specific boundary, or maybe digital, maybe social, maybe mental, that you can consciously set this week to better defend the time that allows you to be who you truly are? Not just what you do for work, but who you are.